Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing great out there today. Welcome back to the channel. Before I get started on today's video, I want to thank everyone for the comments and likes on all my videos to this point, and for all the questions and comments as well. There's been a lot of feedback, and I always appreciate that. I try to reply as quick as I can to every comment and every question I get asked along the way. So I really appreciate that from all of you. Also, to all you that subscribed, I appreciate it. If you haven't yet subscribed, but you continue to watch the videos, come back and check them out as I release them, I would ask that you would subscribe. That way you'd be notified, and it helps the channel grow. It really does. So if you haven't subscribed to this point, but you're watching the content anyway, I would ask that you consider subscribing to the channel. Today's video is pretty much my confidence baits, the stuff I'll start throwing and I'll have tied on for the month of September. Something in September that I've really noticed, especially the last 3 to 5 years. You know how in the spring you hear people say fish move up shallow a lot sooner than you think, as far as in relation to the spawn and into the areas that they're going to spawn into, or they're going to move into when they spawn. I think the same thing happens in the fall, and here's what I think. We've already had a couple of cool nights here where I live. Actually, we've had 2 or 3 where it's gotten down into the low to mid 60s. That water temperature is already starting to creep down. It's already starting to go down, even if it's just a little. I think as the days continue to get shorter, and as the water temperature continues to slowly drop, you start to see more fish moving and relating to shallow water. And me being a shallow water fisherman, as September comes in, I start thinking about covering more water. I know that the water's still warm, and it's like that late summer, early fall transition kind of thing is what I call it. Now, just like all my other videos, I'm relating this on my experiences. It's just things that I've seen. Now, late October, November, and December are my favorite months to crank. But September is when I start trying to cover more water, and my bait choices start to change a little. More towards moving and reaction stuff, and less towards dragging something around. So I'm going to show you my choices for September, but I am going to start off with the slower presentations. One thing I do in September is almost all my flipping, casting, any kind of soft plastics fishing towards targets is basically going to go to a little crawl or a little beaver style bait. Whether it be on a free rig or a Texas rig, that's pretty much all I'm going to throw. I kind of get away from the worms. The only worm I throw a lot in the fall as we go into the late summer, early fall transition, you want to call it, is the Zoom Magnum Finesse worm. I still throw that around a lot, but nowhere near as much as the little beaver style baits and this little crawl scoon bug. Green pumpkin blue is what this is. That's June bug, beaver bait, and this is the little green pumpkin orange. These actually are 2 little Bass Pro Shops beaver style baits, and this is a Strike King. I put them on a Texas rig and I put them on a free rig, and that's pretty much. I try to keep it as simple as I can. When I come to something I see that I need to flip or pitch or throw at a target, as far as plastics go, that's the 3 baits right there. The other slower presentation I like, and it's something that I got away from, but I've really started to get back into it in the last year or so, and I got into it some this spring. I had a nice bass at Falls Lake in an ABA tournament on a black and blue jig with a green pumpkin trailer. And I also keep a green pumpkin jig with a little black blue and silver trailer. I like to kind of keep my trailer a little different color than the jig itself. 1/4 ounce archy head jig, easy to skip under docks, easy to pitch and throw around any cover that you come across. And it's just another bait that I use because I can cover water quick with this, just like you can with the free rig and the Texas rig when you're pitching in that shallow cover. And on these jigs, I'll even swim them. I'll swim them back. The trailer I like to use when I'm throwing a little 1/4 ounce jig, skipping it and pitching it, is the Black Label CP Crawl, I believe it's called. It's the Cliff Pace. It's a real streamlined trailer, and you can skip a jig a mile with these things. So black and blue, green pumpkin trailer, little dye on the tail. And this is a green pumpkin with a little brown in it, crawl color trailer. And you can see it's got a little black and blue and gold flake in it. So I'm throwing plastics on a free rig and a Texas rig, and I'm skipping a 1/4 ounce archy jig under docks, around laydowns, anywhere I don't, anywhere I'm not throwing the plastic. I'll keep that jig in my hand and I'll just keep skipping it and keep skipping it and keep throwing it. I got a lot of confidence over the last year or two in that 1/4 ounce jig right there. Let's go to some crankbaits. You know I was going to go over some crankbaits. And I'm going to show you my crankbait choices for rivers and for lakes. I'm still fishing the rivers here local, but I'm about to make a switch back over to fishing some pretty big lakes here soon. So I'm going to show you my color choices for both. As far as deeper diving baits, this is a bait I always have tied on any lake I go to. It's a Strike King 3XD, sexy shad color. It's just a good choice to throw in on 12-pound line. I'd say 6 to 8 foot of water, and it's just a good size bait, good color, good action, and I catch a lot of fish with this bait. The DT series, DT6. If I'm in a river, I'll throw the chartreuse with the blue back. And if I'm in a lake, I like this. This is actually called blue herring. That's a good color. I've caught a lot of fish with this at Kerr, Gaston, and I'm going to be throwing it soon. I'm going to be making a couple of trips. I'm going to be going to Lake Murray, so I'm going to be trying it out there too. As far as the DT10, I got the old school yellow with a black back, and this is just another one of their shad colors. It's a white with an olive shad back. Another good color in the DT10. DT6, DT10, and the Strike King 3XD. Square bills. Throw a lot of square bills in the fall. One little bait that I've really gotten a ton of confidence in, and you guys have seen it in several of my videos, is the Black Label balsa bacon. This color is called Slick. You can see the metal flake. Shad color, a little chartreuse on the belly, brown back. That's a good clear water lake color. And when I'm in the river, no secret, I got this bait is showing up in a lot of my videos when I'm cranking. This is the candy dolphin color of the Black Label bacon. And I throw this a lot in the rivers. And anywhere I got stained or tannic water, dirty water, I'll throw the candy dolphin. Square bills, as far as clear water, I like this chrome shad. It's a really good color for me and any of the lakes. And if it's real clear, I'll go with this ghost shad color. It's a real good color in clear water. And in the river, you've seen these before too. Yellow, the black back, or should I say chartreuse with a black back, and the gold shad. It's the chrome, but it's also got gold on the sides. that's a good color in the rivers as well. Last is Topwater. Something that I've started doing is I'm trying to get back to simplifying my fishing, because I felt like I was getting into way too many different kinds of techniques and different kinds of baits and stuff. So in the fall, I used to do really well with just slinging a buzz bait. I would keep that thing in my hand all day, and I might not get but 5 bites, but it'd be 5 good bites. So I'm going to get back to that this fall. I did some a little last fall, and it worked out for me. And I'll throw a buzz bait. I like the kind with the blade that hits up against the head. I have said what this kind of buzz bait is before, the brand name, and I can't recall what it is right off the top of my head. I want to say it's a Crankbait, I think is what it's called, but the blade just strikes the head of the buzz bait, and I use the Yodo worm as a trailer. It's a good shad color. I'll throw the buzz bait, and I'll keep that in my hand for a long time, and then I like the plopping style baits. And I found a new one. And guys, just remember with this stuff, you know, I'm just a weekend fisherman like you guys, who just trying to share information and things that have worked for me. I've used the Whopper Plopper ever since it came out. I've tried a couple of versions of it, the Berkeley Chapo, and this is actually a bait that Bass Pro came out with this year, and this is called the Chaos Shad. I haven't caught a fish on this thing yet, but I can tell you something about it. It's easy to cast, and this thing is fun to fish with, and the Whopper Ploppers do not make the sound that this thing makes. I don't know what makes it different, because it looks like the same kind of setup as a Whopper Plopper. It's a little bit bigger size. I think this is actually the mid-size of the 3 that Bass Pro Shops makes, but this is just a matte black with red. And I'm going to throw this, and I'm going to throw that buzz bait around a lot. I'm going to really cover as much water as I can cover with a buzz bait and with this plopper. And I'm going to crank in between, and I'm going to flip when I get to some cover with my jigs and my plastics that I see that I need to. If I really feel like some fish there, I will slow down for that. But the biggest thing from now until December to me is I'm going to be covering water. As much water as I can cover, because slowly you're going to see more and more fish go shallow. You're going to see them start schooling up more. You're going to see them start chasing bait more. And the fall is my favorite time to fish. Some people love the spring. I like fishing in the spring. Some people love the summer. Me, I love the fall. I don't hunt. Everyone starts hunting. The rivers, lakes get less traffic. And it's just a good time to be on the water. It's a lot cooler. The weather's nicer, more stable, unless you got hurricanes coming. And it's just a time I love to be out there. So get you a good topwater, a good buzz bait, get you a plopper, and just put the trolling motor on high, or get in your kayak and cover as much water as you can. If you're fishing off the bank, walk the pond, hit the high percentage areas quick, and cover as many good looking spots as you can. Another good color in this Chaos Shad is an actual shad color. This thing is beautiful. I love this. I'm going to be throwing this at Lake Murray. I'm going to be going to Lake Murray next weekend, actually, and I'll be fishing a derby there in October. So I'm going to start spending a little bit of time at Lake Murray. Never fished there, always wanted to fish there. September and the first week or 2 of October can be some of the toughest fishing of the year. And that's another reason why I try to cover as much water as I can. Because you do not want to get caught dragging stuff around this time of the year now, as it's starting to cool off just a little. Because if you ever lose track of where the fish are, especially in lakes, rivers, it's a little different. Especially in lakes or reservoirs, if you ever lose track of where they are when they start moving, man, sometimes it can be hard to pick them back up again. So you just start covering water until you find them. And when you find them, chances are on a lot of lakes, you can pattern what they're doing, where they're at, and they'll start to school up more. So I try to cover as much water as I can with the plopper, with the buzz bait. I'll crank the DT10s and 6s. I'll throw my Strike King XD. I'll skip these 2 jigs around docks. And these plastics are going to be on a Texas rig or a free rig, and that's what I'm going to be doing most of September. I hope this helps you guys. If you got any questions about any of these baits, let me know, and I'll be glad to give you any information or share anything with you may want to know. I hope everybody's getting a chance to get out there and go fishing. Enjoy your time on the water. Anytime you get to go, man, just go. Anytime you can get to go fishing, just go. A lot of times the days you feel like it, I don't feel like hooking up the boat, I don't feel like rigging my rods, just go. Because this world, the way it is now, everything's so crazy. If it's something you love to do, 9 times out of 10, anyone watching this loves to fish, loves to catch bass. So spend your time doing the things you love whenever you have a chance to do it. I appreciate y'all watching, and if you would, give me a thumbs up, like the video, comment, and if you would, please subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next video. Tight lines. See you on the next one.